It's May 20th, 2024. I'm Todd Dunn, and today I'm back in a boat shed to do the last few things that need to be done before we launch Seaquestor, which you can see behind me. And what are those things? Well, I've got to hook up the solar panels. I disconnect them for the winter because the charge controller does have a trickle draw, and it would flat the batteries over the winter because, as you might be able to tell, there's not a lot of sun here in the shed. So that's something to consider. And I'm also going to take my extension cord and battery charger off the boat so that I don't forget it. Besides, I need to use the battery charger at home this afternoon to make sure the battery on my rider lawnmower is okay to mow the lawn for the first time this year. And I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure that everything on the boat is the way I want it to be before I launch. After that, I'm going to run over and look at the masts. I checked them out the other day. I just want to give them a final check to verify that they are okay and ready to be put up. So the plan for tomorrow is to come over here at about 8:30, and we're going to load the boat on a hydraulic trailer and transport it over to the Manset boat ramp on Southwest Harbor, which is about a mile away. We'll step the masts and put the boat in the water. And if everything goes well, we should have the boat in the water a little bit after 10 a.m. And I will then motor over to the marina, and the 2024 season will be underway. Now, I don't think I'm going to get anything else done on the boat tomorrow. I might get the Dodger on, but I still have to put the sails on. I might get the mizzen on, but I'm not sure. It depends on how windy it is in the afternoon. It's supposed to pick up and blow a little bit in the afternoon, which makes it difficult to put sails on. But as soon as I can, I want to get my brand new Genoa on. I ordered it last fall, and it came after we hauled the boat out. So I have a brand new sail that's never been on the boat. I want to have a look at it. I have taken it out of the bag and looked it over. Everything looks good on it lying on my driveway, but you know, there's a difference between on my driveway and on the boat. But hopefully this week we'll get that sail on and we can go sailing soon, before the end of May. Okay, so that's where I am right now. I'm going to climb up on the boat now and check things out. Well, I'm on board the boat now. I have done everything that I absolutely had to do in the cockpit. So now I'm going to go below, connect the solar, and just give the boat one more quick look over to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be for launching. Make sure I don't have a hose off of a seacock, for example. That's never good to have water gushing in through a seacock. There's only one hose I took off. That's the raw water intake, and I did put it back, but I'm just going to triple check it and make sure that seacock is open and a few other things like that. So the boat will be ready to go in the water pretty soon. But the first thing I'm going to do when I get below is reconnect the solar panels, which is just 4 wires that I disconnect every fall, and it's not a big deal. And later this summer, I am going to move my solar charge controller so that my wife will quit being annoyed by the flashing blue light at night. And when I do that, I'll probably completely rewire it so that it is less of an issue, and I can just throw a few switches in the fall and then again in the spring to disconnect and reconnect it. Okay, I'm going to head below now and get that work done. Okay, I got the solar array and charge controller hooked up, and everything seems to be working. Show you something. This is the output from my Victron charge controller, and you can see my batteries are sitting at 12.68 volts. That's not bad after a winter, and I only had them on the charger for maybe 4 hours. And it's just a 15-amp charger, so I didn't put a huge amount of power into them. They held up very well over the winter. And as I showed you in my last video, I was able to fire up the engine very quickly. So we're ready to go. We will now head over to the masts, and I'm going to give them a final look over. Okay, there's Seaquestor, ready to go in the water. I've done my final walk around, and everything looks good. You can really see the seafoam green boot and cove. She looks pretty nice, and she's ready to go in the water. I've taken the ladder down, hopefully for the last time this year. I am going to leave it here until after the boat's in the water, though, just in case I need it tomorrow morning. So she's ready to launch. The 2024 excise sticker is up there. The document is on board. New flares. Engine's been test run. Solar panel is hooked up. All the seacocks are in the correct positions for launching, which means the cockpit drain and the raw water intake seacocks are open and everything else is closed. So she's ready to go in the water, and I'll be back tomorrow morning at about 8:30 while they load the boat on the trailer. Then we'll head over to step the mast and splash her, and I will film the splash like I always do. And before I go, I wanted to talk about this little boat that's sitting next to me here in the shed. Okay, for those of you who might be interested, this is the boat sitting next to me right now. It was in front of the boat, but they've moved it to have me ready to get out of here. This is a Lueders 16. This is a pure sailing boat. I believe this one is a fiberglass one. There are some wooden ones too. And notice there's no prop aperture at the aft end of the keel, so this boat has no engine. It is a sailboat. There are a bunch of them around here. There is a group that races them at least once a week during the summer, and they're quite pretty little boats. I'll show you a picture from bow on, just to give you one other aspect of this boat. Remember, this is a 26-foot overall boat. And here we go. You can see it's very narrow. These have like a 6.5-foot beam. They are beautiful boats to see under sail, particularly when they're doing a spinnaker run. A lot of them have very colorful spinnakers. And as I said, they race quite a bit around here. I'll back up so we can get the whole thing. Okay, that is going to interfere with getting a good view of Seaquestor from the other side. We'll walk around. Everything looks good. I've got everything off the boat that needs to come off, and stuff that needs to go back on will go on after she's at the marina. Okay, there's Seaquestor, ready for launch for the 2024 sailing season, which begins, barring an equipment breakdown here at the yard, tomorrow. Okie doke, so now I'm going to walk up and take one last look at the masts, just to make sure I didn't forget anything critical on the masts. Okay, I'm up at the spars. This is the main mast. Got the radio antenna, the anchor light, and all around white light, and the Windex is on. I put that on a couple days ago, and all the halyards are rigged, and it is at this point just a matter of splashing it. Now let's go down and take a look at the other end. That's the main thing we're interested in. Here's our mizzen mast right here, the little mast. Everything looks good there. And what we're going to do is just have a look at the turnbuckles and make sure that everything we need is there. In other words, all the clevis pins are in, and the cotter pins are in good shape there. Yeah, everything looks good. I got one cotter pin down there that I think I could change. And here's a couple more. A couple of my new turnbuckles I bought just a couple of years ago. And another lower. And here's the mizzen. And her turnbuckles are all here. And everything is there. I've already checked this once, so I'm just taking one last look. These are both deck step masts, so there's no boot on them. They just drop into a fitting on the deck. They're not in bad shape for 50-year-old aluminum masts. So here's the furler. Everything is turning freely. That one isn't so good. I think I could use a rebuild on that, but I don't have time now. I have to get some more. Wait a second. I think it's all right. It's up against a cleat. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I was checking this. Hear that noise? It's rubbing against a cleat. Yeah, it's actually in good shape. So everything is good. She's ready to go in the water for 2024. And in less than 24 hours, these masts should be standing up on a boat, and we should be over at the marina. I'm going to head over to the harbor next and take a look at some things. Just before we go, this is a Hood Sea Furl SL roller furling system. And unlike some other systems that have grease fittings, this doesn't. You can see the ball bearings in here. This has Torlon ball bearings, and they are lubricated with rainwater. Same up here. And the noise is just rubbing against the cleat. So those are in good shape, and you can't grease them, and you wouldn't want to because it will just gunk up the works. Some other systems do have grease fittings, but not many. Most of them now use these Torlon bearings. Like this one here, this Furlex does not have any place to put grease into it. You just flush them with water periodically, and that keeps them clean. Okay, I'm going to head over to the town dock now, and we'll look at where we're going to rig and launch the boat. Okay, I'm now over at the Southwest Harbor Manset Town Dock, and right in here is where we will pull the boat up and step the spars. Then we'll go out this way, and they'll pull up onto the road and then back down onto the launch ramp over here, and back the boat down into the water. With Seaquestor, because of her draft, which is 4.5 feet, it's necessary that we disconnect the trailer from the tractor and winch it down into the water to get the boat to float off. And then once that's done, I'll motor out and the season will be underway. And as usual, I will film the actual launch. So that's it for the 20th of May 2024. In my next video, we'll be putting Seaquestor in the water for the 2024 season. Okay, thanks for watching.